All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, Errol Spence Jr.'s next fight has been talked about and revealed, I suppose, by Eddie Hearn as he talked about what is next for the 147-pound division after Jaron Ennis beats Amanda Stanionis. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite fighters, and that is Errol Spence Jr., the Truth, who, according to Eddie Hearn, is planning a comeback fight this summer, and the rumor is that could be against Mario Barrios, the 147-pound WBC champion. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. It really does make a huge difference to the channel. But let's get into this because I want to see Errol Spence Jr. come back like everybody else. And I do want to see him come back against a guy that I believe is around the caliber of Mario Barrios. However, I have to say that it's pretty safe to put that Eddie Hearn, if he's telling the truth, there's a bunch of different things that have to come in play for that fight to take place. One thing is that Errol Spence Jr. already said that he's not coming down to 147 pounds again. He did not want to be at 147 pounds when he fought Terrence Crawford. On top of that, when he and Terrence Crawford fought, if Errol had lost, Errol was supposed to exercise the rematch clause, and then I think the winner got to choose the weight. I think they put that in there so that if Errol Spence Jr. won the fight at 147, then he could, and Terrence Crawford wanted a rematch, then Terrence Crawford would have to go to 154 pounds to get the rematch. It's just very clear, very evident that Errol Spence Jr. does not want to be and should not be at the 147-pound division anymore. However, that does not necessarily mean that it's impossible that he could return against Mario Barrios, because he could return against Mario Barrios. And the reason I'm saying he could return against Mario Barrios is that there has been catchweight fights for championships where the belt was not necessarily on the line if two people decide to fight at a catchweight. Gervonta Davis was the WBA 135-pound champion. They wound up having the fight at, I believe they weighed in at 136, so that Ryan Garcia could make the weight. And that's something Gervonta Davis did. He got an exemption, or I guess he got permission from the WBA to do it. So Gervonta Davis has a fight, what would have been a championship fight at a catchweight, right? If Ryan Garcia would have won the fight, then Ryan Garcia would not have gotten the WBA belt. Gervonta Davis wouldn't lose the WBA belt. So, hey, if they do talk about fighting Mario Barrios, that really could be something a way that could work, where they could fight at, I don't know, 153 pounds. Or Mario Barrios may say, hey, I just want to go fight Errol Spence for one fight at 154. It's not for a title. And if Mario Barrios loses, he not only gets a really big payday, because you have to assume that fight would be at the T-Mobile, not the T-Mobile Arena, but at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Dallas, Texas, and more than likely would be a sellout, because you have Errol Spence Jr., who's obviously from that area and a very big name in boxing, and you have Mario Barrios, who's also from Texas, of Mexican background. So they would probably be able to sell that out, sell a lot of tickets for the return of Errol Spence. So on one hand, it doesn't make sense for the weight class However, there are ways to work around that so that Errol can get a fight with Mario Barrios. And that's the way that I just laid out. Gervonta Davis had done it. Other people had done it. It's just not that you can't do that with a mandatory challenge or something like that. So I would tell you that I think that Mario Barrios versus Errol Spence Jr. from like where Errol Spence is in his career, that's also a good fight for Errol Spence because Mario Barrios ain't going anywhere. Mario Barrios is going to be right there. Mario Barrios is going to be there fighting you. And if Errol Spence Jr., even coming off this layoff, can't beat Mario Barrios at a comfortable weight, then you know, hey, man, it's probably time for Errol Spence Jr. to hang it up. So, my first reaction, the first reaction that I had to this was, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But as I stepped back and thought about it, no, that's a way that really could make sense. Mario Barrios keeps his 147-pound title, goes up to fight one time with Errol. Win or lose, Mario Barrios is good. Win or lose, we're going to know what's up with Errol. Either he's going to be looking absolutely positively terrific against Mario Barrios, or, it's going to be like, all right, he's a shell of himself because he had a too hard a time with Mario Barrios. You know what I mean? But look, I absolutely like that fight for Errol as a comeback. And the reason that I like that as a comeback is because I don't think Errol should come back with guys like Sebastian Fundora or guys like I know he and Jermell Charlo were friends, but say he and Jermell Charlo was active and he just came back and fought Jermell Charlo. I don't really think that would be the best for him. I want to see Errol have a series of fights where he really gets active for a short amount of time. Maybe if he's going to be in there for the next 2 years, let him get a Mario Barrios, let him get somebody else that is kind of, is a recognized name, but not somebody that is, straight killer, right? You don't want to put Errol in there with Jaron right now or anything like that. But Mario Barrios, yeah, man, I think that works. Anything short of being able to get like a Brian Norman, right? Brian Norman at 154. But anyway, at the end of the day, I'm excited about it. I'm happy to hear Eddie Hearns say it because Eddie Hearns just got done having Jaron Ennis fight a PBC fighter in Stanionis. So I wouldn't doubt that Eddie Hearns isn't out there trying to push to get to try to get more fights with PBC fighters. So if Errol fights Mario Barrios, and if it was for a championship, then Eddie Hearn would be like, oh, okay, great. Now let's make Jaron and Errol. It's such a huge fight, right? That could be the reason why Eddie Hearn's saying it, why Eddie Hearn's pitching it. And it may just be something he's pitching, maybe something that they're just considering. And, we'll hear and see what happens after that. But, at the end of the day, I'm just happy that Errol Spence Jr. is contemplating coming back. I'm looking forward to also Jermell Charlo coming back. We're going to see pretty soon who Errol is going to choose as a trainer because obviously he's not working with Derek James anymore. But, hey, man, that's the update on Errol. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.